Welcome to today's video. Join us as we take you through the alphabet from A to Z and show you some amazing places in North Wales. Let's get stuck in. A is for Abersoch. It has a beautiful beach. It's a lovely place for a walk, or you can try a bit of dune surfing. Tragic. You'll find Abersoch on the Llyn Peninsula, or on the bottom of the top left sticky out bit of Wales if you'd like to get more technical. As well as its extensive beach, Abersoch has a little harbour and is very popular for water sports. As it attracts those with boats, it's also quite posh, and you'll see holiday lets, cute little delis full of fresh produce, and trendy bars and restaurants. Don't worry though, there are still plenty of places where you can get fish and chips, and that's Abersoch. Next up it's B, and B is for Barmouth. B is for beach, and B is for boat trip, and where better place than Barmouth to do all of the above. Barmouth has a vast and unspoilt beach, perfect for your bucket and spade holiday. Isn't that nice? It's also a vibrant small town with plenty of shops and places to eat and drink. It's home to Barmouth Bridge, the longest timber viaduct in Wales and one of the oldest still in use in Britain today. Barmouth, it's angelic, but do take care if you're eating or drinking outside, because there'll always be a B is for bloody seagull to steal your food. C is for Conwy, and also for castle. And just a warning now, there are a lot of C is for castles in Wales. This one is an absolute belter though. Conwy is also home to the smallest house in Great Britain. It has a working harbour where you can pick up some fabulous fresh seafood. And also a quaint and vibrant town centre, with many picturesque and old buildings. Conwy also boasts an impressive town wall. Do walk this 3/4 of a mile walk, you'll get the most incredible views. And that's Conwy, one of the most beautiful towns in North Wales. Moving on, and D is for Denbigh, or definitely another castle. Denbigh Castle sits proudly above the town, and although originally built by Edward I, it has been fought over many times and has a long and fascinating history. The town of Denbigh sits on a steep hill, has a very floral phone box, some interesting buildings, and it was once voted the best market town in North Wales. Spoiler alert though, its market is D is for desolate. Moving on. Now E isn't for empty field, it's actually for Ewlow, but since there's nothing in Ewlow, it's back to the empty field, as Ewlow has a bit of a secret. What is it, Rach?
It's a secret castle in the woods.
It certainly is. Until you are standing almost next to it, you wouldn't know it was there. Ewlow Castle is a native Welsh castle. No one is sure when it was built, but it could have been as early as 1213. Take that, Edward I, and let's see if you can do better. OK, maybe you can. F is for Flint, and Flint Castle was Edward I of England's first castle in Wales, with the vision of oppressing the Welsh. Right, that's enough of frequent, fatiguing, flipping castles, fabulous though they are. It's time to move on from F and Flint Castle to G and the Great Orme. We know the Great Orme is in Llandudno, but it's big enough to warrant its own section, and it starts with G. But what is it?
It's a massive piece of limestone at one end of Llandudno.
And you can take the old Victorian tramway to the top. The Great Orme Tramway is Britain's only cable-hauled tramway that travels on public roads. It opened in 1902 and is still going strong today. At the top of the Great Orme is a G for gift shop, G for gorgeous views, and G for gondolas, another way you can ascend or descend this huge lump of limestone. There is a very pretty chapel, the Great Orme Cemetery Chapel, nestled on the side of the Orme, with stunning views and sheep to keep you warm in your grave. There is also a far more famous church, St Tudnos, a copper mine, gardens and a toboggan run, all on the Orme. But to keep this video inside half an hour, we'll move on. H is for Harlech, and what a humongous beach it has. Harlech town is hospitable, heavenly and hilly. Oh yes, and it has another castle. Harlech is another of Edward I's castles, and this one has the best views of all, looking out over the sea one way and Snowdonia the other. Do walk the ramparts of this castle to make the best of the stunning views, and then finish the day with a Harlech sunset. I is for infinity pool. I know we're clutching at straws here, but I is for infinity pool, and that's good enough for us. This pool is known as the secret infinity pool. We know you're not supposed to bathe in it, but everyone who can work out where it is does. And we had to try it just the once. The views from this pool are I for incredible. And I can keep a secret. Can you? Now, there's no J in the Welsh alphabet, but since we're following the English alphabet, we'll give it a go. There are only 8 places in Wales that start with J, 7 down south and 1 near us. So, ladies and gents, we present Johnstown. It's jaded, joyless, and there's jack all there. We just drove through it, tried to find a country park, failed as it was flooded, and jogged on home. And talking of inclement weather, K didn't go too well either. Take it away. Now, K is for Kinmel Bay. If you're dyslexic, carnage and chaos, and also... Indeed, it was very kinwindy this day. We tried, we really did. There's not a lot in Kinmel Bay, but it does have lovely dune walks and a killer beach. Although the fear of being killed in a hurricane drove us quickly back inside. I think you'll find that K is also for Kit Kat, so we went into Asda and got one of those instead. Knockout. L is for Llyn Tegid, the Welsh name for Bala Lake, and the Llyn Tegid Railway. This vintage steam railway runs between Llanuwchllyn and Bala, and we loved it. There's plenty of L to look at as the steam lingers in the air. This 4.5-mile long narrow gauge railway runs along the side of Llyn Tegid. It originally opened in 1868 and was then 19 miles long. But let's linger no more and leave these locomotives and march on to M. M is for mould, but not the moisture sort, the magical market metropolis sort in Flintshire. Mould is well worth a visit. The famous mould riots happened here. The Beatles once played here, and it has M for markets, Mary's, well, St Mary's Church, and the site of an old Motte and Bailey castle on Bailey Hill. And that's marvellous mould. Now let's nip to N. N is for Nevin, and for this video, the beach at Nevin. It's a beautiful beach, although it does get busy in the summer. And it's also N for nippy when you go for a paddle in February. Nincompoop. There are some gorgeous holiday lets dotted around the bay. Nice work, Nevin. Now, where are we? O for off to. Overton is the answer, a small village near Wrexham. The church at Overton is not only beautiful, but houses one of the 7 wonders of Wales in its churchyard. The Overton yew trees are a collection of 21 yew trees planted between the 3rd and 12th centuries. To think that some of these trees have been around for 2,000 years. Overton is also known as Overton-on-Dee, as it's close to the River Dee. This stunning sandstone bridge was built in 1814 and is now Grade 2 listed. But let's return back to Overton and visit Mar Bakers and get us some O for oven fresh bread. Look at that, she even does jokes too. Move over, Wills. Now, how's that bread? P is for Porth Dinllaen, a beautiful beach on the Llyn Peninsula. It's also home to Tŷ Coch, once named the 3rd best beach bar in the world. Only 3rd? I mean, their nachos were to die for. They had a cat on a cushion, and that view's incredible. It's first place from us. Porth Dinllaen, a day out for pleasure, peace, and a pint. OK, so there's no Q in the Welsh alphabet either, so we did struggle a bit on this one too. According to Google, there's only one place in the whole of Wales that starts with Q. Thankfully, it's just down the road, so we present to you Queensferry. It has an iconic blue bridge, an ice rink that is home to the Deeside Dragons ice hockey team, and that's about it really. So let's leave our quest for Queensferry and road trip onto R instead. R is for Rhyl, and Rhyl has a really nice beach. OK, so Rhyl does get a lot of bad press about being all the R's, run down and rough, but to us it has a childhood nostalgia. And anywhere I can play 2p Falls is good with me. It does have some beautiful old buildings, but sadly the council keep knocking them down and replacing them with not so useful eyesores. But the beach at Rhyl is a thing of beauty, And one of our favourite days spent here was the air show, when the town was packed and we had chips and burgers on the beach and incredible planes filled the skies. We know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but we find Rhyl resilient, reliable and retro. OK, we're going to cheat a bit on S and say Snowdonia National Park. Yes, we know it's called a rurry in Welsh, but we've done and you got a castle. We have so many places that we love in this area. If we say Snowdonia, then we can show you a bit of them all. Llanberis sits on a lake and has the beautiful Dolbadarn Castle perched above. This is also where you can catch the train up Snowdon or Eryri, Wales's highest mountain. Then there's Beddgelert, a picture postcard village and home to the legend of Gelert. There's Llanrwst, with its historic old stone bridge and its iconic tea rooms. Bettws-y-Coed, with its charming old town and infamous Swallow Falls. Then there's the Llanberis Pass, one of the most beautiful roads to traverse in the whole of the UK. Portmeirion, designed by Sir Clough Williams-Ellis in an eclectic Italian design. Then you've Porthmadog, Criccieth and Blackrock Sands. We really could go on. Let's just call S for Snowdonia stupendously stunning and leave it at that. T is for Towyn, and it's next door to Rhyl on the North Wales coast. This is a lively holiday resort where the emphasis is on fun, fun, fun. It even has a track for harness racing. That's pretty rare in the UK. There are plenty of amusement arcades, and the bakery is said to be excellent. There are many caravan parks in Towyn, and although the beach isn't up to much, you've got Rhyl just down the road. And that's terrific Towyn. OK, we're going to have to take artistic liberties with you and say U is for umbrella. Or lack of umbrella for us pair of idiots. Yes, Wales gets more than its fair share of rain. But do we dress appropriately for this? No, we don't. Ever. So if you ever visit North Wales, do pack a U for umbrella. Chances are you'll need it. On to V and Vyrnwy, or Lake Vyrnwy to be precise. Lake Vyrnwy sits in stunning countryside and is actually a reservoir. It was built in the 1880s to supply Liverpool, 88 miles away, with fresh water. The dam was the first stone-built dam in the United Kingdom and is still so impressive to see today. It's a beautiful place to visit, but now on to W. W has to be for Wrexham, and for wow, what a few years Wrexham has had. Wrexham has always been a mining town, and in the 18th and 19th centuries, Wrexham was a vibrant and successful place to be. But once the industry went into decline, so did Wrexham. Wrexham has the oldest football club in Wales and the third oldest professional association football team in the world. But for 16 years, it hadn't been going well. Step forward, Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds. And we all know what happened next. Thanks to this amazing story and the Welcome to Wrexham TV show, Wrexham is now on the up and has become one of the most popular places to visit in the UK. OK, X is going to be tricky, so we'll cheat with that one too. Let's stay in Wrexham and visit the Wrexham Xmas markets. Yeah, I think we got away with that. These markets were really good, with a lot of local Welsh produce that was fairly priced. And the sausage was excellent. Do check these markets out next December. And don't forget your festive hat. For Y, we've chosen Ynys Môn, which is Welsh for Anglesey. We love this little island just off the coast of North Wales. It is home to some of our favourite places to visit in all of Wales. From its vast sandy beaches to its medieval castles, the tidal island of Llanddwyn, to racing down the Menai Straits in a rib boat, there really is something for everyone here. And that brings us all the way to the end of the alphabet and Z. Now where are you off to? There's no Z in the Welsh language, you know. Llyn Bay? That doesn't start with Z. But zoo does, and the Welsh Mountain Zoo at that. Our favourites were most definitely the penguins. Meet Zoe, Zachary, Zara, Zane and Xander. Yes, quite handily. every penguin who lives in the Welsh Mountain Zoo has a name that starts with Z. And if you believe that, then you're more stupid than him. And that's us all done. There are so many places we could have and would have liked to have included. I know, let's start again. A is for Aberfold. Just kidding, but maybe there'll be a part 2 in future. We've been Postcard and a Pint, and that was our A to Z of North Wales. Cheers.
Why do Welsh horses run so fast?
I don't know.
Because they've seen what the farmers do to the sheep.
Well,